Good morning, everybody. Like Jimmy said, my name is George Blinsky. Been with Farmers Edge a while, just a little over 15 years now. Have gone through several roles throughout Farmers Edge: operations manager, territory agronomist, regional agronomy, and now back into the territory sales agronomy role. So I cover all of Manitoba, and just going to move over to start the presentation. So I guess to start off, Farmers Edge has a huge digital toolbox that we have. Everything seems to integrate into what we have: satellite imagery, weather stations, soil moisture probes, inversion towers, telematics, like CanPlug's devices, our scouting app, soil sampling, and then turning those data into actions, easy to read maps, real-time data visualization, VR prescription maps, predictive modeling, and benchmark reports. So all these would feed into our platform and give you the services that we provide. Moving on to the process of VR fungicide. So depending on where you are and your geography, hopefully we're going to be doing VR fungicide hopefully very soon within the month. But the process that we need to do to ensure that we have a good start for you, the biggest thing is to ensure that your sprayer is VR capable and unlocked. Some monitors, you have to pay an unlock code over and above extra to do that. Lots of sprayers are VR capable now. We do have techs on staff so that if you need to get that looked at, give us a shout and we can pay you a visit and get that to see where you are. The next step is prepare. Give your Farmers Edge agronomist a heads up that you're thinking about doing this. Provide them with the information that we need. At least a week's notice is ideal. We have did it sooner, but please remember that we have lots of customers that are doing VR fungicide, and a lot of them unfortunately are all at the same time. So the more notice that we have, the better we can serve you and do that. Planning in advance allows this process to be flawless. Next step is identifying fields to be sprayed and the goals of the application. Disease modeling in Farm Command can help make those decisions. At the same time, on growing conditions, weather, and staging. But the one key that we need to sit and chat about are going to be what your goals are. In a particular case like we're having here in eastern Manitoba now, we have lots of drowned out areas, and if those potentially dry out and may grow a crop, there's going to be a lesser crop in those. So do we pull back on those rates, or are you in in the central prairies or western prairies where you're experiencing more droughtier conditions where burnt off hilltops aren't worth spraying? There are very lush areas where you want to jump into a high rate. So it all depends on what your goals are, and I'd really highly stress that you chat with an agronomist to kind of figure those goals out to make sure that everybody's on the same page and we can provide you the map that you want. We will then make up the zone maps for the selected fields using the most recent NDVI. We have a bank. We do have daily imagery now. Clouds do put a hold on some of that, where we have a couple days of clouds, but the most recent image that we can provide you is usually the best one, and therefore it's more suitable to the conditions that you have on your field. Number 5 point, grower and Farmers Edge agronomists will review the maps with you, determine the rates for each zone and goals and the products used. In this step, the grower approves the maps. We always like to have that when we make the maps up, that they get an approval from the customer before we can move on. That way we're both clear on expectations. And again, depending on the product, what are you going to be doing for rates? we always go with label rates, and whether that's just a straight on or an off rate map, like a 2-zone map, or potentially a 3-zone map, a two-zone map, low rate and a high rate, or a low rate, high rate, and an off rate. It really depends on which fungicide or which product you're using, herbicide or insecticide, sorry, not insecticide, but which fungicide or herbicide you are using and which one would be the better suited for that. Moving on, so when we're building the application maps, make sure that we're having consultation and following all pesticide label rates, and sending application maps through either the farm command through the CAN plug, or delivering a USB. Both work very well, but depending on your situation, we can determine which one's better for you. The information to provide to the agronomist. So estimated spray date is very essential. I know things happen and weather plays into it. We tend to like to have them in your hands, but before you actually need them, so that we've did our work and you're just basically waiting on the staging of the crop or the weather. Fields to be sprayed and the crop types. Most times we would know your crop types, but if you are a brand new customer that's just coming on just for VR fungicide, we would not have that information, so that needs to be provided. Products that will be used, label rates, we can search those, but traditionally, I'm sure you have your favorite rate that you like to be using on there, whether that be the water rates and the chemical rates as well too, and the type of prescription that you're going to be using. Really like to see if we could have the dollars per acre of the product that you're using, so that we have a comparison of costing and ROI and the savings that we'd be providing to you. So I'm just going to flip over to a couple case studies that we've did. One being a non-uniform canola crop. This was a couple years ago here, where we had a late May and early June frosts, paired with a whole bunch of flea beetle pressure, unfortunately, and then a drought, which resulted in uneven emergence as well as inconsistent biomass areas throughout the field. We were informed on July 8th that the grower was really interested in trying VR. So we made the maps up, and the next day the grower approved them. We then built up the prescription maps, delivered them to the farm, and loaded them onto the sprayer the day after that. Chemical was delivered that evening and sprayed all 7 fields the following day. So when it works very flawlessly, as long as all the steps fall into play. So on the left is the zone map that we would be creating for the field, a 6-zone map. So depending on what strategy you'd be picking, whether it be off rate, low rate, or a high rate, or just an on-off rate, we would then assign each of those colors to a rate. The map that you're seeing on the right is the scouting NDVI map. So that's more of the raw image that we'd be turning that into the image on, or the zone map on the left. You could really see the dark green in the southeast corner of the field, and then the reddish pinkish pieces in the north. Those are obviously the lesser vegetation, so we can correlate those two for what we're doing for application or into a map. So zone ones. So our zone ones traditionally are the lower producing, lower productivity rates. On 12 acres of the field, we did not apply fungicide. If you can see on the pictures on the right, the plants were approximately 2 feet tall, sparsely spread out, not a lot of vegetation and foliage there, so therefore we decided to put a 0 rate into those pieces. Zone 2, also no fungicide. This one's getting a little bit better on the vegetation side, but still thin and patchy, and not warranting a spray rate. Here we come up to zone 3, and we applied fungicide on 27 acres. Still somewhat patchy, but we believe that should warrant an application, as there's a chance of disease in that zone. Moving on to zone 4, 35 acres that was sprayed. Again, the stand is getting stronger and thicker, and increased foliage. Less chance of air movement to go through, therefore the fungicide was warranted. Moving on to the zone 5, 24 acres is applied there, very healthy plants, 4-inch tall, 20 open flowers on the main stem. So we're in the 20 to 30% stage, which is right on the money where we need to be. And then lastly, zone 6, usually the best parts of the field, traditionally where we have some lodging issues, very thick stands. 23 acres of fungicide were applied, was that zone area that we applied. So being that 111 acres was applied as opposed to 147 acres of the total field. So the cost of application of applying that was $16 an acre. On a 147 acre field, worked out to be $2,347. The cost of Catigra to be applying in the healthier zones, if we were doing a VR fungicide map, would have been $1,773. Therefore, a savings of $574, or $3.91 an acre. So just about a third in that particular, or 30% in that particular case. Again, it really depends on the situation that's occurring in the field, and we can obviously tailor that we could be applying zero rates on more or less acres depending on the situation you have. Another case study, this one was done with a herbicide called Cobra on soybeans. So Cobra is about $13 an acre. The variable rate application, or sorry, the full field is 213 acres. So therefore, if we were to be doing a full pass, would have been $2,786. The variable rate pass, we only used chemistry on 180 acres. Worked out to be a savings of $432 or $2 an acre. So you can see the map, the green and their two-tone green map there, that the light colored areas are the hilltops, and those did not warrant a herbicide spray, just for the fact that there was no weed pressure in those areas. Moving on to the yield map here now. The yield map on the left, and then on the right is the yield map overlaid with the application map. So the pieces that you can see, the kind of yellowish is what was actually sprayed, and everything you can see pushing through that is what did not get sprayed in that particular case. Moving on now to another VR fungicide on soybeans. So again, zone maps were built using NDVI imagery from July 2nd. You can see the map on the left is the map that we're going to be using. NDVI map, the kind of 2-3 tone green map that we've created from it. Top right hand corner, the zone map was the zone 1 that did not get in any product was 57 acres, and then zone 2 and 3, 67 and almost 30 acres in zone 3. So moving on, the zone 1 did get a low rate, a 4-ounce rate. The zone 2 got a 6.4 ounce rate, and the zone 3 got a 8-ounce rate, not an 80 acre rate that's indicated there. So instead of the 8-ounce rate that we normally would have been putting on, we put on 5.89 ounces. Came to a total of $1,550 of savings, or just over $10.30 an acre savings there. That's it. Just make sure that obviously depending where you are and what geography, but if you're at all thinking of doing this and potentially saving some money, please reach out and let's see if we can help you along the way.